Welcome to another interesting success story. As you guys know, I have a playlist here on my YouTube channel where I share stories from different guys out there who have been successful. So after you have watched today's video, make sure to check out the other stories as well to keep you inspired. There will be a link to the playlist in the comment section below. Background: male in the early 30s, addictive personality, fapping addiction, PIED and DE. Had crazy sex life in 20s, very satisfying in the beginning, but then it got progressively worse as I tried to fap my way out of the excessive sex drive. My sex life in the last year was pretty bad and totally freaked me out, which eventually led me to the discovery of YBOP and NoFap. Humble beginnings. I went cold turkey immediately upon discovering YBOP. Had severe withdrawal symptoms in the first couple of weeks, stuck with it and never relapsed. Eventually the urges went away. I hit a flatline for another few weeks, was a bit worried, but I continued hoping that it would eventually go away. I started to read Mark Manson's Models and wholeheartedly recommend it to anyone doing NoFap. Superpowers. Within the first few weeks, I started to feel way more energetic. I was finally able to concentrate after all these years and not feel crazy tired all the time. My other health issues also went away. Simply amazing. I became way more social, started to enjoy talking to people more without having any side intentions, just appreciating their presence and what they had to say. My relationships with others have significantly improved. I started feeling less selfish and more in touch with others and the whole world around me. Since I had too much energy all of a sudden, I started working out. My confidence went through the roof. I just feel fine with myself, knowing my body and mind, my limits, desires and dislikes. Trial by fire. I was always freaking out whether the PIED and DE would go away or not, since I only got morning wood occasionally during the first 2 months and only came once during my sleep. I knew I'd be traveling around a bit and visiting a bunch of my female friends after day 60, so I was fairly nervous to see whether I'm doomed or saved. The results. Proud to report that I am cured. Some of the amazing things that happened to me. I had absolutely no problem maintaining wood during sex. Sex is better than ever. I can fully focus on what I'm doing, feel in control of myself without having to worry about ED or DE, knowing I will come whenever I feel like it. For the first few times I had trouble with PE since I was super excited. This was not a major problem since then. For the first time in my life, I came during oral. Most girls were extremely satisfied and a couple of them thanked me afterwards. Some of them told me during our follow-on sessions that they kept thinking about having sex with me all day long and just couldn't wait to see me again. I feel great being around women and getting sexual with them. It was very natural, very peaceful, knowing my body is working the way it's meant to be. I did not get sexual with a few of the girls I saw. I was still in complete control of myself, not disappointed at all, being totally cool with whatever life brought my way, appreciating things as they came. Conclusion. NoFap has easily been the biggest life-changing event in my past 10 years or so. 3 months ago I was lost, doomed, drowsy, tired, unsure about my sexuality and so on. I had huge doubts that I would last those 90 days, but I did it. Now when I look at myself, I'm way more confident. Things don't get to me easily. I'm more than sure about my sexuality and ability to please a woman, and I continuously work on improving myself and relationships with others. It feels great. Okay, and so there ends today's NoFap success story. That guy had an impressive reboot without one single relapse. Now, I sometimes get comments in the comment section like, hey, he is probably lying. No one can make it to 90 days on their first try. Hey, come on now, guys. Yes, it is true that most people do relapse. In fact, I relapsed a lot myself before I finally got the hang of it. But that does not mean that no one can make it on their first try. Pointing fingers and getting upset just because someone else is doing better than you, well, that is such a loser behavior and will only hold you back in life. Instead, use people who succeeded as fuel for your own fire. However, I would guess that the addiction-related brain changes he had was probably not that severe as he recovered so quickly. Unfortunately, there are a lot of guys who need much more time. But then again, older guys tend to recover faster as they didn't grow up on high-speed online adult sites. Before I sign out today, I would like to remind you of my No PMO website. If you are struggling with your own reboot in any way, or if it's taking too long, you definitely want to check it out. Over there you'll find a lot of articles, and they are all 100% free, with helpful tips that may or may not help you with drive, getting harder woods, and of course avoiding relapses during your reboot. I'll put a link to that website under this video. Just check for it there. Alright, check out the other success stories as well. You can see the playlist with all the stories on the screen right here. Just click on that and it'll take you there. This is Scandinavian Bob signing out for today. Consider subscribing for more, and as always, I wish you all the best in your journey to become the strongest version of yourself. And remember, if you're going through hell, keep going.